The GSD says the test and quarantine rules for Gibraltar students on government scholarships makes no sense and cites an example of two brothers returning from London on the same flight, one who works there and the other a student. The student would need to take a test and quarantine for 5 days. His brother would not. The same argument, the party says, would be true for non-students returning from a city where COVID numbers are very high who would not be tested, and a student from a university where there are few COVID cases who would be subject to the quarantine. English university students visiting friends in Gibraltar, the GSD highlights, would also not be required to test or self-isolate. In a statement, the leader of the opposition said the government needs to explain why these rules are being applied inconsistently and why other travellers are being excluded. Keith Azzopardi stressed the GSD does not object to testing airline passengers on arrival or departure if this is justifiable. However, he says the case for discriminating against passengers and specifically against students must be justified. Meanwhile, Shadow Education Minister Edwin Reyes says there is confusion and frustration among students and parents, with many questioning whether the regulations are arbitrary and not science-based. He said members of the public have approached the GSD, saying they do not understand the rationale behind the government's actions.